Hi, this is my third video blog, and I'm here at the beautiful Alte Oper in Frankfurt, and here goes your questions. So, one of you asked, do you have to have special vocal cords? Do you have to be endowed with special vocal cords? Indeed, yes. You have to have your whole apparatus, strong vocal cords, strong diaphragm, resonators in your face, where the voice can let's say flourish and bloom, and that's how you get a special voice. You know, the timbre, everything is produced by physiological things, but also by, let's say, by technique and breath control. But the timbre is made by our physiology, by the face, vocal cords, shape of our cavities and everything. So one of you said we can hear you clearly in the Metropolitan and the amphitheater. When you sing in the face, how come you don't deafen your colleagues? Who said I don't? No, seriously. We try to cheat always that we sing outwards, because yes, if an opera singer sings directly in another opera singer's ears, it can get a little bit loud. One of you asked, I have problems with tuning, what can I do? Well, the rule of thumb is, if you have a pet and you sing in front of him and he starts whining, crying in sorrow, then you're probably singing out of tune. No, joke apart, but actually that did happen to a friend of mine. He started singing and his hound started whining in sorrow. You can actually fix that with a voice teacher or a music teacher. You can do scales, especially chromatic scales, and he can guide you how to educate yourself to sing in tune as possible. How long after you wake up do you start warming up? It varies. If I can avoid it, I try not to sing in the morning, because the whole body needs to wake up. The circulation needs to, let's say, gain momentum, and so I try to sing, let's say, from noon onwards. If I have a Sitzprobe or a general rehearsal, like I have today at 10:30, then I wake up at 6 or 7 in the morning. I take a good breakfast to kickstart my body, and even do some very light exercises to help my circulation going. Do I have plans in South America? I don't have plans yet in South America in the near future, but there is something in about 3 years' time, so hopefully I will be there. What's my opinion on Lady Gaga? Well, she's an extremely talented pop singer, and some of her music is really interesting. I also love music from every kind of style, and I don't mind listening to Lady Gaga occasionally. When did you find out about my voice? I get asked this quite a lot. I always sang since I was 3. I have videos of me singing when I was 3. So I was always very musical. I always took part in church choirs, in school choirs, and rock bands later on, until I discovered opera. And before, let's say, embarking on studying with my teacher, then I arrived where I am today. So what about crossover? Yes, I actually love singing stuff which is not opera sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with it. Crossover is not a new thing. Skipa, Caruso, you can go back 100 years and find elements of crossover. Of course, it wasn't as popular that day because there wasn't the media we have nowadays. So there's nothing wrong in singing crossover, as long as it's suitable for the voice and as long as it is done in good taste. One of the most embarrassing moments in my career was probably singing a whole recital in full tails. They were really beautiful tails, actually, with my fly open. And the first 2 rows of the concert hall were laughing constantly, trying to suppress it. And I discovered sort of halfway through the first half, and I tried to pretend that I wasn't aware of it. I failed miserably at that. Am I superstitious? Yes and no. The way I see it, we singers sometimes need any kind of help we can get. So if avoiding certain things that bring bad luck, why not? If I was a baritone, if I were a baritone, what kind of roles would you have loved to sing? Definitely Macbeth of Verdi. I would have loved to sing Macbeth. And even Rigoletto at some point. Do people annoy me? The people that wait for me at stage door for us singers, do they annoy you? Not at all. On the contrary, I'm grateful and I appreciate that they take their time to after an opera, sometimes in freezing temperatures, to wait for a photograph and a signature. If an audience member has paid for a ticket, he's giving us his or her patronage. I mean, the least we can do, if they're willing to wait, is to sign a picture and take a picture with them. Why not? Would you sing anything else aside from opera? I think I have already answered this. Definitely, I would, if it's in good taste and if it's good for my voice. Do you have any bad performances? Yes, it is definitely something that can happen. Some performances are definitely better than others, and that's what makes opera so beautiful in the end. That it's always a live thing. It's never, you can never know what's going to happen in a live performance, which gives it, let's say, its excitement. And the important thing is to achieve a level of consistency. That way, when you have a slightly bad day, it's still of a very high artistic level and still, let's say, at the level of one's consistency. The last question is, what's the definition of being successful for an opera singer, and what was the turning point? I think I started very young. I had my professional debut when I was only 19 years old, and I think the most important thing is you have to have a wonderful voice. You have to be born with a great talent. This is like football. You know, if I train football 12 hours a day for the next 5 years, I will never even be close to being good as, let's say, Messi. You know, Messi is a god in football, and he has legs that are just phenomenal, and his talent is phenomenal. The other way around, in opera, to be at this level, you have to have a very natural, born with a very natural voice. And then, of course, you have to train it, study it, do all the sacrifices. And the most important thing, I think, is definitely consistency. Consistency is incredibly important because no great career was ever made in a relatively short period of time. To be remembered as a great, you have to have a number of years as a minimum to, you know, even for the audience around the world to have a chance to listen to you. Okay, so they're calling me back for rehearsals. I'm opening in the concert of Amico Fritz this coming Sunday in Frankfurt. For those of you who will be there, see you there. For the rest, I look forward to receiving more questions for my 4th video blog. Thank you so much. Greetings from Frankfurt.